broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, welcome! It's the Young and Hungry AfterBuzz After Show. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. We are so excited to be back for Season 3. We got Episode 1 and Episode 2. But before we begin, let me introduce my lovely panel, because it's a whole new panel this season. Dakota T. Jones.
Hello, yes. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
Oh, thank you. And Michelle Cullen.
Hello, you can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
And of course, Becca B.
Hi. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Becca B Talks TV.
Yeah, that's why I call you Becca B. Makes sense. And if you want to tweet at me, I'm at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. All right, let's jump into the season premiere of Young and Hungry. All right, overall thoughts, how we started this season. Overall thoughts of both episodes. Overall thoughts.
I really liked it. I think definitely this is the new, jump into Freeform for this show, and I think that there's a lot more sexual references. I think Freeform's super excited about all these things that they couldn't do before, so they're jam-packing these new episodes with all the things that they couldn't do the previous 2 seasons. So I think it's a little much there, but overall I loved it. I love the continuation of the storyline. Love this show. What about you?
I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I do like that it's kind of bringing to a closure the storyline that's been going along for the first 2 seasons, while opening up a lot of different possible outcomes now with new relationships going on.
Yes.
So I think we're going to see some new and exciting stuff with the same great humor and, like you said, a little bit more adult.
Risque.
Risque.
It's a little raunchy.
Just a little.
Just a little. I do agree Freeform is... They're starting... Like,
I love the hands, because
No,
anyone listening...
I moved that...
I can't see, but they
my
get
hands.
it. No, but it was, the hands were exactly right. That is
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
It's just...
It's that.
It's that. Yeah, get on iTunes, guys, so you can see the hands. But
the show has kind of come like full circle since it started. It's kind of back where we saw Josh and Gabby in the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like it just because they're starting off and they can go farther than like ever before on the show.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because of the network change.
Yeah, and we will get into the whole Freeform ABC Family thing, because that really was very in our faces this episode. But let's jump into episode 1, and talk about this Jake, Josh, love triangle that came to an end.
Yeah, they just started it too, and it came to an end. I was expecting it. Yeah, I was expecting it to go along a lot more. I felt like, we were gonna go through this big cycle again where it was like Jake and Gabby, but no, like they put it into that, which I was excited for, because we've seen this back and forth thing for 2 seasons now.
Yeah, definitely. I was excited. That ended very quickly.
Especially because we're now gonna see, as I'm calling it, Gosh. Guys,
I really
gosh.
like that ship
The
name.
ship name.
That's the ship
I
name.
like that ship
Yeah,
name.
because Gake was never going to work.
Gake.
No.
Right? That's
sounds
how you
like-
know.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Or Jabby.
Yeah, no.
You can tell
Jabby.
if people are meant to be from their ship name, honestly.
If the ship name is
Absolutely.
good or not, then
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we start off with these fantasies. My problem with seeing fantasies like this is once you see it a few times, you know that there's going to be the one where he's really there, and then we play the "you're not real, you aren't here, and I love you," and he's going to go, "What? I'm here." It's an old trope. What do you guys think about them playing up with it?
I thought the same thing that you thought, but I did love that they threw in that extra one where he was actually physically at the gas station, and she thought she was seeing him, and then she thought it was a mirage again, but he was actually there, and it was just bad timing.
Yeah. Their whole relationship is bad timing, it seems like.
it worked well since it's a comedy show.
Yeah.
That whole seeing him and then like in dreams and whatever,
Yeah.
and then
I gotta say, the first one I didn't think was a daydream, and it totally like got my hopes and
didn't
dreams
think
up,
it
and
was
I was
either.
so mad. I was like, "Come on!" I thought she was gonna be like, "You know what? This is ridiculous. I'm getting out of this food truck and I'm going to the love of my life." But that's not what happened. But
no, I thought the same thing at first,
Yeah.
just because maybe I'm sick of them being like, oh, I don't know. What do we get together? Do we not get together?
You're not a fan of the will they, won't they?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I love the reenactment. That was spot on.
Great.
Hi.
I want to know what the chat roll is thinking, so make sure you are live in the chat on YouTube if you're still awake. We apologize for the late hour. Becca's got you covered in the chat. I think my favorite part of this episode was when Yolanda points out to Josh that it was his fault.
Oh yeah.
Right? You bought her the truck. You said it was a good idea. You were always the one who was pushing her away. Yeah, Yolanda, you're right. Voice of reason.
Boom.
Yolanda is always the voice of reason on this show, and I love it.
And she's ridiculous
she gives
and
best
funny.
Advice.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
ridiculous and funny, but she really knows what she's talking about at the end
Yep.
of the day.
Yes, I agree.
And we saw her do it throughout this episode, but we'll get to Elliot and Alan because that's a whole thing.
Whole different storyline.
Okay, so let's talk about Sophia's video call because this leads us into our freeform discussion. Because I
Yeah.
really do want to talk about this. So Sophia and Gabby are video chatting, and Sophia points out the facts, and Gabby's response is, "I'm fact," which, for those who didn't catch it, is a freeform approved version of the F word,
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
which ABC Family would never pull.
No.
But they've been doing a lot more risque things now that they are freeform, which I was kind of iffy about the network change at first. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Because
Yeah.
you can't really do all this stuff on a network where you're trying to appeal to a family. It doesn't work. You make people mad.
I've even seen Disney Channel has been saying things like, "What the feathers?" And like they're really accentuating the F. And I'm like, whoa. Like even the kid channels are starting to get more risque.
Disney is rolling over in his cryogenic.
What is their new name going to be? It's going to be like Frisney.
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 What the Frisney?
What the Frisney?
Just anything with an F or a PH just because.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh,
sure.
shnikes. That was a thing when I was a kid. Oh, okay. Just before Josh tells us how he feels, we have this amazing moment where Jake pulls out the sleeping bag, and I want to talk about this because it really bugged me. Because Gabby, they're all adults, right? Sophia's drinking beer all the time. They're very much adults. So the idea that her boyfriend, who she has gone to a music festival with, pulls out a single sleeping bag and goes, "Yeah, no, we're going to sleep in this together, girlfriend. We make out all the time, girlfriend." And she was just
Standing
shocked.
there.
She's not a virgin.
No.
No, like,
Let's just put that out there, guys.
No,
it's
she's
just,
not.
right, and she's dating him, and his expectations at that moment were very realistic. Did it not bother? Am I the only one who's really upset about this?
My entire thing, it's the second note I've made. They've only been dating like 5 days! ! Question mark. And then they're already going to Coachella. I got a
And
little
in TV
jealous.
showtime,
I
it's
got
like
a
5
little
minutes.
jealous
Yeah.
In my note taking, it's fine. But the real point is, like, 5 days into a relationship, someone's like, "You're my girlfriend. I really
Right.
like you. We're gonna share this chair together.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel gonna be great."
Yeah, maybe have a kiss or so, but not sleeping in the
Me
same
personally,
sleeping
I'd be
bag.
like,
Yeah.
back off.
I just don't think it was the right circumstances.
What's more romantic than your first time as a couple at Coachella?
Outside on a tarp, sitting on a chair with a
So
sleeping
Coachella.
I couldn't do
See,
it.
I don't know. The idea of Coachella, I'm weird. Stresses me out.
I would love to go to Coachella someday.
And
Just
I'm
random.
And now
fact.
we're talking about a whole different subject.
Yeah.
and I'm just the type of person I dated a guy that like 5 days in was like, "You're my girlfriend," and I was like, "Hold up, I'm sorry,
gosh.
can you come again?" What?
Well, so here's the difference: is that Gabby was very much into
crazy.
being the girl. Like the girlfriend part wasn't what scared her.
Yeah.
It was that he had expectations of what that means. And I'm not saying. I just want to be very clear that I'm not saying that we women are expected to put out when they're the girlfriend.
Oh, no.
No.
No,
I'm
no.
saying in the circumstances that we're in, where they have established that 5 days is totally a reasonable unreasonable relationship for them.
Yeah.
They've been together for 5 whole days and they're ready to take it to the next level, which is an overnight weekend at Coachella. It kind of seems unreasonable that she would go, what? You didn't bring 2 sleeping bags? It's like she forgot that she's no longer on Hannah Montana.
That's fair.
I like that, yeah.
She's like, her Lily Truscott's popping out. You know?
Lily Truscott days are over.
Just coming out a little bit.
Or
I will
Lola.
say, it was a big sleeping
definitely
bag.
Lola.
Like, that was not a small sleeping bag. That was totally fine.
it was
I was
like a
thinking of the
quilt.
things that I had
Yeah.
as a child that were like the cocoons that you physically couldn't move in.
Yeah.
And then
Oh my
he whips
gosh.
out this giant sleeping bag, and I was like, no, that's
See-
fine. What concerns me is that narrow beach chair situation that
Yeah.
you got. Like, how are 2 people going to lay on that?
Why are they laying on a beach chair?
I don't know, but the whole.
Coachella.
I guess for me, like,
Coachella.
even if I just met a girl, like, you know, I would have a problem with that. But like, even if I'd just been with someone for like a few days, if it was outside like that and cold and like we had like a blanket, I don't mind cuddling. Like, that's cool, you know. Like it's not a big deal for me just because it's like the warmth factor. But
Survival instincts kicked in.
like
You know, I mean,
you're
they-
thrown out into the earth.
Right,
you
no, I
know?
get that, but to keep warm,
Yeah.
you wouldn't just cuddle.
Right. I mean, I guess I see why, you know, he thinks it's normal, but for her, because she still has Josh in the back of her mind. So that's the only thing I can
yeah,
think
that
of.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's...
That's obviously where her real issue
Right.
stems from.
Right.
Is
She
like,
just-
she
seems
always
so
has Josh
flawed.
in her mind, even when they're both dating 500 different people.
And that's why when Josh comes and tells her, and then she kisses him, what were your thoughts, guys? It was beautiful.
All my dreams came true.
my... go.
oh, I was like, effing finally.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, no, I thought finally, and I'm also praying that this is gonna last for
Yeah.
longer than like
3
5
episodes.
seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
last season, Josh dated like I don't know how many people. I lost count.
I don't want to constantly make this reference, but for this first episode of us doing this, I will.
Are you going to make a Friends
I
reference?
am. Yes, you
Go for
do.
it, yeah.
Okay, so basically, it's the Rachel and Ross thing all over again. That's like what Gabby and Josh are to
Basically.
me.
Mm-hmm.
So like when they're finally kissing and stuff, I'm like, finally, like I didn't have to wait like 13 seasons or how many seasons of Friends to get that. You know, like I'm excited that they're finally together.
They kissed first season.
Well, I know, like the first episode, but
But that was more like
That was a
accidental.
drunken mistake.
Okay. We
So-
were on a
Drunken
break.
mistake.
Sorry.
Yeah, we were
Friends,
on
I
a
was having
break.
Friends flashbacks,
Okay,
guys.
I'll try not to do that throughout this after show.
It's fine. They're each other's lobsters.
Oh.
Friends reference for the youngins. Okay. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the newlyweds, Elliot and Alan, and the cornrows. See, again, Yolanda, the voice of reason, like, tell each other the truth.
You're right.
Yep.
It was, I feel like, again, another tried and true trope, guys, of the one person doesn't like it and doesn't want to tell them, so they do it to convince them, and then they say it, and then they love it, and then they don't love it, and then they just keep it a secret, and then they all tell each other and fall in love.
That's like the whole premises of Young and Hungry.
Yep.
That's the whole storyline that you just laid out in 2 seconds. But
You're welcome.
Like when you see the title, you think of something I don't know, completely different. But yeah.
I want to see more food.
I want to see more food too.
I know, like that opening sequence where they're throwing food at each other. That like satisfies my soul so much to see like the Jello and like the
Like,
the
I
slap.
don't like the
You don't? See, that's the only time they incorporate food.
I know Gabby is like a chef, cook, whatever. But
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's just the premise of the
Whatever.
show.
but
Yeah.
like we don't see enough food.
Yeah,
in
I mean
the
the
show.
food truck. That's new. That's
And it was
something kind of
mentioned.
cool.
She offered Joey the mechanic brie.
Quesadilla.
It was a brie and something quesadilla.
chutney.
Brie and chutney
Brie and
quesadilla.
chutney.
And he goes, I do love brie.
Can we talk about that funny mechanic for a second? Because we totally forgot about him.
Oh, we
my
didn't
God.
forget about him. We just didn't talk about him.
He's
Yeah,
too
we
much.
just
Joey.
Joey. Yeah, what a stalker.
creepy.
Nicely put.
Creepy.
27 voicemails.
I love the
From
one
the
at the
same
end.
number.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I also
Hey,
like that
guess what?
he's married with kids.
I know.
It's like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Do you guys have that same effect by Jake? Do you find him irresistible? I know what you think. What did you? You pointed something out.
I said that I thought he looked like Brendan Robinson,
Who grew
from
into his
Pretty Little Liars.
when he grows into his big boy body.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he do it for you?
I don't know. I think he's cute and he's charming. And then he said the line that just kind of irks me a little bit, where Gabby said, "Does kissing like usually work for you? Does that solve your problems?" And he's like, "Yeah, most of the time." And I was like, no. No.
No,
Communication.
That's a turn off.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I hate when people in relationships are like, well, if I just kiss them, then everything will be all right. It's like, you can kiss me, but I'm still going to be like, what the heck's wrong with you afterwards? Because we're going to discuss it.
Like in the romantic dramas where the girl's angry and the guy kisses her to make her stop talking. I would smack someone.
I've done that before.
Like, excuse me, I was not done.
She was not yelling at me, but she was mad at me, and I was like, you know what? Come here. And we kissed.
And then she
it was
slapped
good.
you.
It was good, though.
Does Jake do it for you?
What?
Jake, does he do it for you?
I mean, he's a cool guy. I think he just kind of like gets thrown into the story. Like, I kind of want to know more about him rather than him being like a womanizer. But like, I definitely don't want him and Gabby to be together.
Like,
that's obvious.
Yeah.
Basically all we know about him at this point is that he's Josh's brother. Yeah.
And he's kind of a man slut.
Yeah.
Let's call it
a
a mutt.
A mutt?
Or
I'm not a fan of mutt.
or more.
No.
More.
Man.
Someone on the chat said that they're surprised that Josh is more mad at him.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's mad at him, but
you had
that's
a
actually a
sibling-
good point.
I do. Go on.
Okay.
No, that's actually a good point.
Yeah,
that,
let's... Go ahead.
Wait, explain the
okay.
question.
I need more words.
Explain the question.
Well, he said that he feels like Josh should have been angrier that his brother just like kind of comes in and
steals his girl?
and steals his.
What would you do?
Here's the thing. Jake didn't just come in and steal his girl. Josh and her weren't together. Mm-hmm. He has no claim.
Yes, thank you. You cannot lay claim to something you do not have.
Also, she's not property, just to be clear.
That's true.
Very,
Yes.
No, because we're talking about laying claim. Just want to clarify.
Laying
She's not
claim.
property.
Not a thing.
Property, no.
She's not property.
No.
What do you think?
I think it's... I do think that Josh always thinks of Gabby as his. Very possessive. And anytime anyone tries to mess with that, he gets all defensive, but then he doesn't do anything to make her love him back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always a one-sided thing, like, oh, well, she's mine. You can't have her, but I'm not going to take her.
Yeah.
It's like, that's so unfair to put on
I think
a woman.
that part of that, the reason like he's like, she's mine, is because she's working for him.
Right, but still.
That makes it so much more inappropriate.
No, that makes it so inappropriate. But that
Especially-
makes it the storyline interesting.
Right, 'cause-
The fact, like, it's like forbidden love.
Like the first day
That's what I
on the
like.
job, they had sex, you know?
Right. Well, I mean...
Always a fan of the forbidden love.
We'll talk about the inappropriateness of this relationship and the sexual harassment lawsuit later on in this season.
Later on.
But before we move on, guys, to the second episode, because we still have a whole episode to talk about, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who's live in the chat.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone who tweets at us. Do we have people live in the chat? Want to give shout outs?
We have Joseph and Sylvia. I don't know if I said that right. And Prince Fisher.
Welcome,
Ooh.
guys. Thank you for joining us. If you're listening on iTunes, thanks for listening on iTunes. We ask you to do a very simple thing. Go to iTunes, hit subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode. And leave us a comment and a rating. If you like us, that's 5 stars. If you don't like us, that's 4 stars. The other stars, guys, the other stars don't work. Fun fact.
No.
Really?
Star 1 through 3, nope, doesn't work. 5 stars if you like us, 4 if you don't. And leave a comment. Let us know what we're doing well, what we could be doing better. If you gave us a 4, we want to know why you're unhappy. If you gave us a 5, thanks. If you give us the other stars, they don't work, so don't.
Don't do it.
Just don't.
Don't do it.
Okay, let's talk about the second episode because we start right after true love is confessed. No. Thanks, guys.
Yes, I like it.
I like that you guys did it. Before we jump into it, let's go back to that Freeform ABC Family conversation because I made notes. Because this episode was a flippy floppy between like raunchy, pushing the envelope humor
And Disney Channel.
humor, right? So we have ejaculation.
Oh, that word.
Yeah, for those who don't know,
Are you going to explain what that is?
Yeah.
it's Josh
Oh.
ejaculating.
Oh.
I thought about it and I decided, you know what? I'm not going to say it.
No.
But then there's an entire discussion about what that means and what men should do and how they can deal with this issue and when you're with a woman. And it was very
X-rated.
not
like health class.
Clearly you've never seen anything X-rated. It was very
It's health
PG-13.
class.
It was health class.
Yeah.
Whereas usually we have what we saw with the Num Num cream, which that's what it was, a Num Num
It was.
spray. And
I picked the wrong moment.
right.
And
sprayed it
Dakota
4
almost spilled
times.
water on
Also that
himself.
fourth spray. Just I'm sorry, people, I'm gonna have an educational. I told you guys I'm gonna be the mom of the
I'm gonna
show.
do the mom.
Gentlemen, if you're going to use a spray like this, read the instructions first of all. Use sparingly. It's one of those things where this is a good rule of thumb. You use a little, see how it works, then add more if you need it. Like never, you can't go backwards.
Nope.
Anyway, so then we had the ABC Family version of the joke, which is, I can't feel my leg, and he crosses his legs. Like, why are we going between these two? Choose a humor path.
Well, what was he supposed to say?
No, it's
I
just
can't feel my...
No, I mean, it's just, if we're gonna go down one path of being mature adults and being funny, then why take it back to we're all 12 and don't get the joke?
Yeah.
That's
Michelle.
Maybe he had poor aim. That was where my mind went when he had issues with his leg, because I was assuming his inner thigh was
Right.
also a little numb. I will say, I am a woman, and I cringed when the champagne bottle
Oh yeah.
top just hit him squarely where it should have hurt a lot. And he just was fine.
He was fine. And he couldn't believe he was fine because he's like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, I'm fine. Oh my gosh. Oh God, I'm fine. Oh my gosh.
I feel nothing.
no,
I'm going to say a nice ice pack and some swelling cream will help.
we just have a
Dr.
bunch of
Dakota
tips
T.
on
Jones.
this
You,
show.
you like said how to use the cream. I'm saying how to use,
How to deal with it when
It's-
you mess it up?
yeah.
A full-on class here.
I do have a
like a
question.
classroom.
Education.
Oh yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
If you
For
were a
me?
guy
Yeah.
and you were using this num
Num Num cream, yes. I'm listening.
would you like? Okay, what is the point? Like, I didn't understand the point because
Oh, sweetie.
I get it's like for endurance, but like you want to feel what's going on.
Okay. Hold on. Siri thinks we're talking to her, which is real great because she took all that down.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to leave this educational moment for after the show.
Maybe we
Okay.
should ask.
We're not asking her.
Ask the live chat.
But what I will say
Live chat?
is the idea is because it's their first time together and it's been built up in their heads and their emotions and their loins for so long.
Accurate.
Yeah, it's been built up that once they start doing it, he's going to get too excited, if that makes sense.
And having the job.
And have an ejaculation, a premature
Okay.
ejaculation.
Okay, now I
Yes.
get it.
So the idea of the cream is to, if he feels less, then it slows him down.
Okay,
The idea was not to feel nothing; it was to feel less.
got
Yes.
it. But he just took it way too far, and then
But
that
he
was
did
it.
spray, 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 spray.
Spray.
Where
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it because it's 11:30 and I might as well. Had he used a condom, it would have had a similar effect.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Tips here.
Oh my gosh.
Anywho, so they didn't do it the first night.
Make smart
They cuddled.
decisions.
They
Yeah.
cuddled. They talked.
They talked
I
and cuddled.
talked all night.
Okay, when Gabby, well, both Josh and Gabby go for whatever reason to Gabe for or Jake. Jake, I wanted to call him Gake.
Gay.
When they go to Jake for advice, he of course sabotages both of them. I'm gonna put air quotes on this. Accidentally sabotages.
Subconsciously.
Yeah,
Accidentally.
subconsciously. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, on purpose.
Especially his advice to Gabby.
Definitely on purpose.
I
just think they're idiots.
At first, it really bothered me because I was like, okay, Jake is too cool
Mm-hmm.
with this whole thing. Oh yeah, you want to be with my girl? Cool, whatever. you know.
His girl,
That's what.
No.
5 days.
I know, but he
Minutes.
obviously thought so. I mean, he wants
Sure.
to cuddle up in the sleeping bag, but like, it was just too weird for me. I was like, come on, you gotta have some anger. You gotta have, and we eventually get that. Spoiler alert. But I just,
No spoiler alerts. Watch the episode.
but it just makes me mad because I was like, okay, like I would literally lose it on a sibling if they did this to me. So I was like, seeing how he was subconsciously sliding this in, like he was trying to sabotage, but being in like a calm manner. And so I was waiting for him to snap.
Michelle?
I just thought it was really tactless that they both went to Jake like less than 12 hours after that happened. And also that Sophia, who is usually the voice of reason for Gabby, was like, no, totally ask him. Like, he's chill. He hung out with monks for a year. Look at him. He's fine. He's fine. Ask him.
I kind of feel like Sophia's plan was to help Jake open up as opposed to actually help her friend.
Yes.
Right? Because she even said, yeah, you were with monks, right? Sure. Like, she was trying to help him express his feelings instead of being a good friend to Gabby.
That was kind of like a weird point where like his loyalty was switching over from Gabby to Jake. That was kind of a weird thing because she's always been just Gabby, Gabby, Gabby.
Becca.
Well, we've seen their like kind of not agree on everything throughout the show. Their friendship is kind of an off-on thing. It's like basically every other episode off-on. But
do you think her loyalty switched?
I think her loyalty is in between. I don't really think I don't think she has loyalty with anyone.
You think she's more loyal to herself?
To herself. Yeah.
Interesting.
I could see that because she has, you know, a different background than Gabby does, but they've been friends for so long that I think that they've hit the point where they can hate each other and know that it's still going to be okay eventually.
Yeah.
And we've seen that a couple times. Yeah.
Becca, you want to add to that?
And I think it's more so misery loves company, and because Sophia just got dumped again from the same man who I believe was the chicken man. He wasn't in a chicken suit, but he was like in a sandwich suit or something.
The sandwich suit guy.
Sandwich suit guy dumped her twice, the second time being at a wedding. Like, misery loves company.
Yeah.
What do we think about Jake and Sophia as a couple? I mean, I think it was predictable.
I like it.
I'm going to start the ship name hashtag Jophia.
Ooh, Jophia.
I like it.
That sounds cool, huh?
That's better than Sake.
It sounds like my aunt's name, Jophina.
Jophia.
I definitely
like it.
No, I think they're good for each other.
Yeah.
To be honest, they're both very. I don't know how to word it.
Yeah, I'm
but
so excited for what this
complex
is. Complex?
Characters.
Sure. I think
Kind of edgy.
Yeah, I think what I like about the couple is when Gabby's talking about the talking and cuddling, Sophia's response is, "I got needs, bitch."
Yeah.
Which
So sassy.
if you throw that with Jake's, you know, kissing or making out usually works. That's a good couple right there. That's gonna work out great. And then the beers and the drinking, and then they go down, and then when she grabs the beer. Because all I could think was like, oh, this is gonna go well for her. That was where my head went. Is she grabbed a beer? It's gonna go real well for her.
Yeah.
Sure.
Read that, guys. Yeah, I want to talk real quick.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I just got it. I just got it, Mom.
Yeah, I feel like such a mom. All right, let's talk about. Speaking of, well, I don't know what that segue is. Gabby in the dominatrix outfit.
Yeah.
Right?
attractive.
That happened.
So good.
Freeform did that for us.
They
Yes,
loved
they
it.
did.
Yeah, we loved it.
Yes, girl.
I thought it was great. I thought it was interesting that Freeform, again, with the adult content, bringing S&M into, you know, this sitcom.
And
that almost came out really bad.
I heard it.
It's okay. It's fine.
She even says S&M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are words you would never hear on ABC Family.
No.
I'm going to be real honest, guys. I think the reason I'm harping on this Freeform ABC Family thing is because I love Freeform.
It's great.
I love it now,
Yeah.
too. It's free.
It's free.
Form.
Form.
It's beautiful.
The only problem I have with it, I get it, they're being edgy, sexy, but like I hope after maybe a few seasons of all these shows that they're doing on Freeform, they'll dial it back just a little bit and not make everything about sex, because I feel like so many shows already have that. We get it, you know, you put this and that, but like, can we just dial it down on the sex sometimes?
You and I disagree.
See, like, I don't mind the sexual references, but just a little less.
Yeah, Becca.
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't be as realistic for today's, like, for our age group today.
If there was less.
If there was less. as sad as that is, probably.
Or as great as that is,
It wouldn't be
depending on who you
realistic.
ask.
Yeah, as sad or great as it is, it wouldn't be realistic at all.
Michelle?
I agree with that sentiment. I think the most unrealistic thing that I find about this is instantly getting a job with a billionaire, but that's fine. That's
A young, attractive single billionaire.
Yes.
Well, single-ish.
I mean, it is San Francisco, but I'm still like, come on.
I'm from there. This
No,
is
not a
very
thing.
rare.
That's
That's a very rare situation that just happened. A straight, sexy, young
Okay,
billionaire
yes.
who is single-ish.
Single-ish, but when we
Yes.
first saw him, he
Well,
was
that's
kind of
what I'm saying.
engaged a little bit.
Right.
Should we test this out for like a week? Go try to find
to
out
San Francisco?
a hot billionaire in San
Field
Francisco.
trip, research.
All right, we're
Research.
switching gears to our sub-storyline this episode, which was Yolanda's back.
Yeah.
Like, not that she is back, her back.
Her neck, her back.
Yeah. Alan and Elliot, and we get to see their different ways of taking care of someone, and that causes the drama. Alan likes to baby you, whereas Elliot is a tough love kind of guy.
I love Elliot.
Elliot annoys the crap out of me, and I know that's the point of the character, so it's very well played.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
Rex
job, Rex
Lee.
Lee.
So
Yeah,
well done.
The best.
I get so frustrated watching you.
I think that's what's supposed to happen, though.
Yes.
And I feel like if I was ever like put in a friendship with someone like that, I would have to cut them at the seam. Because like really though, like did you see like the parts where you know Yolanda's reaching for the water and he grabs it and you think he's gonna hand it to her and he just starts drinking it, or he makes the sandwich for himself. It's just like how selfish, but that's the point.
I'm torn because I do see it as selfish and I do see that, but also like he made himself a sandwich. Yeah, he could have made her one too, but he made himself a sandwich.
True.
That was his.
Like,
Because
He made
Gabby
himself
wasn't there.
one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I was hungry. I made a sandwich. Do you want one? Different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. This storyline, specifically in this episode, I preferred the cornrows storyline.
I loved the corn.
This
That was so
episode,
great.
the Yolanda, Elliot, Alan storyline felt real unnecessary and as though like, oh, that's right, we have to have a story with them.
Yeah.
I'm excited for everyone to be back together.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very excited for that because I think that's when things get interesting. More drama happens just because they're all together and they all cause problems in each other's lives. Let's be honest, especially Gabby.
Yeah. And
She's the problem maker.
And we know that we're
everything.
headed there. We know that we're headed back because we have our callback when they wake up together. But this time they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And they're going to go on a first date.
I like that idea.
It's so
Hopefully
sweet.
it's like a real first date where they don't get like interrupted by some phone call or something.
What? You mean a sitcom where they go on a first date and everything goes perfect?
Probably not.
Yeah, well, I've never seen that.
No.
As long as Gabby doesn't have to make the meal for it. Because
That's true.
that has already been done.
That must
True.
No, he wants to take her out.
I feel like this is a great idea, and I hope that they don't go down the path where, oh, I got a phone call, I'll be right back, and then they run back and forth from the table. I hope they have a nice sit-down meal.
At least for 2 minutes.
At least for 2 minutes.
It's like you guys have
Give me
never
that.
seen a sitcom.
I hope they sit down and they're starting to have a nice meal, and then one of them, I don't really care which one, sees an ex
Yep.
at the other table.
Absolutely.
And then
gonna
maybe at
happen.
another table, the opposite one
Ex.
sees their ex. And it's
It's
like,
gonna
that's what
happen.
you get for dating San Francisco.
Basically.
I'm going to pull a Friends reference. And I'm going to say, I would like to see, we're already there, so we might as well say this before I go into it. Guys, it's time for predictions.
Woohoo!
Right? Because we're already there.
Yeah, we kind of went there.
Sorry, guys.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so what I would like to see is a Friends callback, which when Chandler and Monica went to dinner, he was going to propose, and they saw Richard there. I would like to see that happen, well, without the proposal. But, what did I say their name is? Gosh is on their very first date. Their finally official first date, and they see exes who join them.
I hope it's Jesse McCartney. I hope he comes
Yes.
back on the show.
Yes.
I hope he does. He was in the show for a long time.
He
And I
was.
liked it. I liked his dorky self in the show. It was cute.
I would not be sad if he came back.
I hope he does. I hope he comes back from China and does that.
China.
Let me ask you guys this. How long do you think Gosh is going to be a couple this season? Becca.
Well, Joseph on the chat roll just said that episode 3 is called First Date, and then episode 4 is called Parents. So
What?
I think we might
that's
be meaning
right.
they might be meaning
Parents.
Might be meeting parents.
Yeah.
so,
Or they become parents.
or they become parents.
Guys, I don't know if you know how biology works.
Well, what if it's from somebody else? Like,
Yeah, he
well,
could have.
I mean, they don't really show that part, but
They're gonna
it's
do a 5
possibility.
years forward.
5 years forward. Pretty Little Liars.
How long do you think they'll stay together this season?
I would love it if it was the whole season.
Okay, but
That's
realistically,
ambitious.
Yeah, no.
I feel realistically like they might break up and then get back together
in this season.
within the season.
Okay.
Personally, I hope that they stay together for at least 3 episodes. Give me 3. But realistically, it's probably going to be like 1.5. So I just hope that it's one of those things where we don't have to wait a whole nother 2 years before they get back together again, because that irked me so bad.
Yeah. I think we're going to get on Melissa and Joey, and they're going to be together, have a bunch of fights, but be together.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Good.
That would be a good storyline. And I liked that show. So much.
Any final predictions that you guys want to bring up?
I could see the show overall ending kind of the same way as How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Like, they, not necessarily that they do everything wrong to drive a relationship away, but like they break up and things don't end, and then maybe like the grand finale is, yes, they end up getting back together and they live happily ever after, and that's the closure that everybody needed.
You're trying to end the show.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
We're only on season 3.
That's
Yeah,
not a
girl.
show. That's a very grand.
No.
In
Arch.
10 seasons.
It's like an overarch.
7 seasons from now.
I know. 10 seasons later.
7, yeah.
All right.
We're going for 13 seasons.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And if I'm going to predict that, what did we call it, Jake and Sophia?
Jophia.
Sophia.
Jophia lasts at least 5 episodes.
I think so.
Yep.
After seeing them, in bed together at the end, I feel like they're definitely meant for each other.
I
Yeah,
think
they are.
Jophia is going to last for longer than Gosh ever will.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Again, find us on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, all those things. Becca, where can people find you on Twitter and Instagram?
You can find me at Becca B Talks TV on Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. Michelle?
You can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
Great.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
Excellent. You can find me online at Yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. Make sure you are joining the DVD giveaway I'm doing on Twitter and Instagram. That's right. Physical DVDs being given away. That's all you got to do. And I have a new podcast called Intimate Interrogations on iTunes. Check it out for free. We'll see you every other week here for more Young and Hungry. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.